start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say this because, and I've said this publicly, you know, this guy right here, all right, played a huge role in my professional career. And from the times when I was a video coordinator, I learned a lot about recruiting just sitting in his office with my computer while he's talking on the phone or he's, you know, maneuvering. Like it just, that's the one thing I'll forever be grateful for was I think, and Dave D was the same way. You guys were unbelievable and just letting me be around and mentoring me. And this guy never made me pay for lunch. I mean, the list goes on.
I need to get about 20 of those back now.
the list goes on of just how impactful, you know, he was, and I wanted a chance to lead with that because I'm forever grateful, you know, for that, and that's the kind of guy he is. Always mindful of, you know, helping others, and I witnessed firsthand the relationship he had with players. That taught me a lot. So, thanks, man.
Love you.
Love you too.
Keep going. my AD sitting over here. So. No, I think what an awesome experience for our group and our guys, and for myself, you know, just coming back, seeing the people. I've always said, you know, the people here make this place, and you know, even when I came back for the football game, but to see the redcoats and the compliance people, facilities, you know, the desk people. So I think just great people. You know, fun to see a lot of faces I haven't seen in a long time. But this is really good for us. Hopefully it was for Jake and his team. You know, we made a jump from last Monday till now, and it'll be good to have on film and get back to practice, you know, this coming week. But we appreciate the opportunity, and you know, look forward to following their season. Really like his team. I think they were really hard to guard. You know, a lot of different pieces, a lot of skilled pieces. I don't want to say night and day different from last year, but night and day different from last year. But you know, look forward to following them.
Yeah, we're thankful they were able to come over, and you know, one of the things I knew with the Jeff Boals coach team was we were going to see physicality, we were going to see toughness, and we were going to see a team that really knows how to play. And that's obviously important for us to get as many reps against that, you know, and someone else as we can heading into the season. So, you know, you look at the banners, you look at the history of this program, some of its peaks in most recent years. He was a part of those teams, and so it was great to have him back in the building, and to be able to see, you know, some of those people that he talked about and people he impacted while I was here.
Go ahead.
Jake, when we talked to your players, they talked about rebounding and defense. Where do you think you are as a team still figuring and learning some of those lessons as you get ready to start playing teams for real?
Yeah, well, it's good that they're getting the message. You know, I think at least they're understanding, you know, the points of emphasis. I think for us, you know, we're kind of in this place where we're rebounding well at times, and we're not maybe rebounding, you know, as well as we can be, and that's where we're trying to keep fighting and striving for. Part of it is we're getting ourselves in rotation a little bit too much, and that's putting us at a disadvantage on the glass. So we got to shore up some of that defensively. Part of that's a communication thing, which, you know, we've gotten better. That was a major issue for us in our last scrimmage. We didn't communicate well enough defensively. It's been the last part of our chemistry kind of translating to the court. I thought it did on offense really well. That's the last part we talked about all week on defense. So it's good that they're getting the message. We've worked hard on it. We'll continue to work hard. I think we got the personnel to be able to do it.
And not that like flirting with a triple-double was necessarily an every night, you know, thing to expect, but the way that Christoph Tilley influenced so many things for your offense today, 10, 7, and 5, what is reasonable to expect from him as you continue to figure out how he fits in the offense, and how important is he for how you want to play?
We love his versatility, and you know, I thought he should have been a little more aggressive there at the top of the key a couple times. I want him to take some threes. He's been ultra aggressive from three and shot it really well. So he and I talked about that before we got off the court. I wanted him to shoot a couple of those. But you saw his versatility on full display, his ability to get fouled because he can drive and we're able to space. And he's a high level decision maker, which was, I mean, 7 assists, no turnovers, really impressive. So happy for him because he's worked really hard this offseason, and you know, we're expecting big things from him.
All right. I wanted to ask about Brandon Knoll too. Was the leading scorer today, and seemed to really find a lot of spaces like late cuts, finding times to get open, maybe when someone drew a double team, being there as that sort of outlet on the pass. Just what impressed you about his performance on the offensive end and how he was able to score in this one?
The biggest adjustment for him, coming from Wright State to Ohio State was being able to play without the ball, right? He had the ball a lot when he was there and manufactured a lot of buckets for himself. So now, being able to play off others was a transition that he had to make. And I think he's done it really well. He's got a high IQ. You saw his cutting. He's got some athleticism where he can finish above the rim and finish with physicality. So I thought offensively he did some great things. And that's been consistent with how he's been scoring for us.
And then off the bench, two guys in the front court, Amari and Yvonne. Thought Yvonne, especially the first time he subbed in the first half, had some really good minutes there. Amari really came on in the second half. All his points came in the second half, knocked down some threes. What did you see from those two?
Well, I think you're seeing development, right? I've been really impressed with Yvonne, especially since kind of July in his development. Amari, we have high level belief in. I thought the most important thing, that he displayed today was confidence, which sometimes young players don't do at a real high level. So we got high level belief in both of those guys. They worked really hard, and we think they're going to be really impactful. I want a couple of those, everybody Ohio guys, you guys go ahead so we can mix it up there.
You got a second.
Jeff, with I know the talking point coming into this season was, getting more front court presence, increasing rebound. You guys competed with a really tough and much bigger team. How did you assess your team's performance down low?
Yeah, I think their size obviously was a difference maker. We want to establish more of a post presence. We're not seeing this size, and we play St. Mary's, California, Louisville, and then first round NCAA tournament. But other than that, you're going against 7'2", 7 foot, 6'9", and that's just a different size and athleticism. We would have liked to have thrown the ball a little bit more inside to try to take advantage of the opportunities that it created. But something we'll learn from. Something that's going to be good to have on tape, because when we did do it, I thought good things happened. And we got to get better, and we got a week to do it.
AJ Sheldon shot much better from three compared to Monday night. How much does it change the offense when he's hitting from beyond the arc?
Yeah, he's had a great summer and fall. Probably been our best 3-point shooter. Him and Jackson Pavleski. He's got the green light. Play with confidence. Obviously, when your first one goes in, it helps. And we took 37 threes, which is a lot to do with their size and kind of what they gave up. Out of those 37, I bet you 30 of them were really good shots, that we had good looks at. And you got to take advantage of those opportunities.
My family shoots well in that gym, man. I don't know what it is.
Bruce scores 11 points today. You score over 100. I mean, all these bigs producing and stuff. What's that a sign of to you?
Well, I think, our versatility offensively is going to be really important for us as the year goes on. And, Bruce is going to have to score for us, right?
Yeah.
There's no question about that. But I thought his decision-making and poise on some of those drives and just making some of the easy reads was high level. And, probably could have had even a couple more assists on some of the decisions he made. So when you look at it, we had, I think, was like 7 guys or 6 or 7 guys between 6 and 8 shots. So I love that we have the potential to be a really balanced scoring team, but as we know, as some of the games come down to the wire, we got to start calling more actions and stuff. Like, we're gonna be specific to make sure him and Junie and those those guys, Devin, those guys have the ball in their hands to make decisions in games.
Pace of the way you scored 103 points, but did you feel like you played at the pace you wanted to enough at the time today?
I thought at the start of the game we were a little bit slow with some of our cutting in the half court, and I think Ohio, deserves a lot of credit for that, because they played with pace and they put us on our heels a little bit there to start the game. So, but we kind of bounced back, and I felt like our pace was good in the full court, but in the half court you got to maintain that. And there were stretches where we did pretty well. Our cutting freed up, opportunities for us, and we want to do that against pressure and physicality. So at times I thought it was really good. I think we got to continue to grow and get better, though.
I have 2 more. Let's start with Cole.
Jake, Brandon Knoll was off to a really hot start, and then he was the first one removed from the game with Bynum coming in as a sixth man. Is that something that in a non-exhibition setting, you'd be more inclined to go a little bit off script and let Brandon stay out there longer to start?
Yeah, I think going into this game, it was important for us to kind of create a little bit of chaos with our substitutions, just because we want to, simulate foul trouble maybe where we got some unique lineups and stuff, and we wanted to try to, I think get different looks. Like the one thing we didn't do was get our two Tilly and Yvonne in there together. We were able at the end to give Brandon, a couple minutes at the small ball five, but there wasn't any, really intention other than just kind of starting to create some substitution patterns and a little bit of organized chaos from a lineup standpoint. So our guys got to communicate when they're subbing in and out, and they got to pay attention to timeout. And I subbed some guys late in timeouts. Just there was strategy behind that part, so we're thinking about the right things and communicating when we're coming on and off the floor. But it wasn't anything more than just kind of pick those two guys to kind of start that rotation.
Finish up with Connor.
They announced at halftime that you guys were going to do 6 fouls per player for the limit. Was that something you guys agreed to before the game, or did you kind of assess that several guys were in foul trouble at halftime and decided to make that tweak?
Blame it on me. We actually never got there, thankfully. Yeah, I think, we played exhibition at Wright State. We did unlimited. We had maybe 2 guys foul out. But I think, these type of games, you want to play your, group of guys. Not, at least I did, and I knew it would be a physical game, so that was my ask, and Jake.
Yeah, it made sense. It was a great idea. I think you want to, like, we were fighting for experience for some of these guys, and fighting for, being able to play different lineups and stuff like that. So I think, when we said it made a lot of sense, because you didn't really want to, I guess, limit your ability to do that when you didn't have to, because it was an exhibition game.
And then Jake, since you've known Jeff for over a decade at this point, was there, when you're prepping your team, was there anything that you prepared your team for to say, regardless of who's in the roster, we know Jeff is coming in and his team is going to play like this, and they're going to have these characteristics kind of regardless of who he rolls out there?
Yeah, it's what I talked about before. The team's going to be tough, they're going to be smart, and they're going to play really hard. And so we talked about that for the last couple days, and there was for us, it was about having a mentality where we were going to be the best version of ourselves as often as we could, today. But yeah, believe me, I let our guys know that, he's a mentor of mine, and I know him well, and I know for sure his teams are going to be really, really tough, smart, and play hard.
Good, guys, thank you.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.